Okay, I'm back. All right, this is my oldest WIP. I started this in, I believe, December of 2018, and this is called Shepards Sampler by With a Needle and Thread. And I have no excuse why I have not worked on this in 2 years. Literally, it's been 2 years. It's in with all my WIPs. I keep thinking, okay, I'm going to put it into my rotation and use it as a focus piece for 1 month, and then it doesn't happen. But it's going to be stitched on in 2021 for sure. This is on a piece of fabric that I dyed. I don't even know what I used to dye it. And I love this piece. I love the, you know what attracted me to it was the windmill and the house. Just loved them. I love the colors of them. So it's like, I need to get back to this one. And it is 14 count, Ada. Alright, this one is Preschoolers, February. I am stitching this one, and I think I have 6 done. I have January, March, July, September, November, and December. So I have 6 of them done. So I do want to finish them all, the whole series. I am stitching this on a piece of 14 count lamb's wool. Lamb's wool is the called for fabric for these. I am just stitching mine on 14 count. This is full coverage. I think that's probably why I've stalled out on it. And I don't mind a lot of full coverage stitching like that. But I think what happened is I didn't have the colors to do the words. And I really wanted to get the words in before I started stitching all that background white. And so I finally got the color for the words and got them, because I did have this as a focus piece 1 month this year. Right, so I got the color for the words and got them all done and started doing the fill-in. So I'll get back to this one this winter. Maybe. I will. Okay. This one is called Our Hearts by With Thy Needle and Thread. I started this on February 28th, and I worked on it on February 28th and March 1st. And I started this for my anniversary. I was married on Leap Day, February 29th in 2016. And so, since this isn't a leap year, I chose to stitch on this for 2 days. So I started it the 28th, and I worked on it the 1st also. I'm stitching this on a piece of 18 count aged paper by Color and Cotton. Okay, and this is where I'm at. This is not a very big piece. Not a very big piece at all. These are, I mean, this is as far on each side that it goes, I think. Yeah. I am doing my own I'm doing a DMC conversion. With any chart that I do that is with a needle and thread, because she doesn't list a DMC conversion, I get out what I call my DMC conversion Bible. which is the DMC book that has all of the colors listed, and it has the actual floss. So what I do is I go through and pick out floss that matches the picture. So that's where I'm at. Alright, the next one is Saltbox Quilt Sampler by With a Needle and Thread. And I am stitching this on a piece of 18 count vintage country mocha. Again, picking out my own threads that matches the picture. And I started this on March 10th for my daughter's birthday. It's pretty. That was just one day of stitching. I need to get back to this one also. I need to get back to all of them. Alright. It's live. It's live TV. Sorry. Real life. Couldn't get into the bag. Okay, so I started this series. Summer Schoolhouse Lessons in Abecedarian by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I am stitching them individually on 18 count Platinum by Swigart. And anyway, so I have all the charts, but I started on this one. I started this one on March 5th. I have grandkids that were born on March 5th, and they're twins, a boy and a girl. And so I started this on their birthday, and I have windows and a door. No house, but I do have windows and a door. So anyway, you can see my hoop works. And I'm stitching them individually, and I'm going to make them into pillows. And I already have how I want to display them. So we'll see. We'll see when I get those ones done. All right. This one. Okay, this one was started on. If I can get the chart out here. This one was started March 20th. It was started for the first day of spring. It is Things Unseen by Lizzie Kate. This was a mystery stitch along a few years ago, I guess. I don't know when. I'm using all of the called for DMC. And this is where I'm done. So I think this is mostly part 1, I think. And this one, I stitched on it on the first day of spring, and then I pulled it out. I think I pulled it back out in April, and it was one of my focus pieces in April. Love it. It's pretty. All right. We just have this basket to go. All right, this one was started June 21st. It's called The Beekeeper by Plum Street, and it was started June 21st for my granddaughter's birthday. This is being stitched on 18 count cone words. 18 count Cottage Stone by Color and Cotton. This is one that I am changing a lot of the colors. So the called for colors, I'm not using a lot of the called for colors. And this is where I'm at. So if you wanted a color conversion, all I can do is tell you what I used for the flowers, the stems, and that part of the beehive. I have colors that I've picked out and I have them in the kit, but I don't know where I'm using them. So it's hard to give, tell you what my colors are. But if you want to know what these ones are, I can tell you. I just don't know how I'm going to do the rest of it in. Right. And then I started honeybee samplings, and I started this for Flag Day. I know it's not patriotic, but I want this. The reason I'm starting some bee stuff is because we remodeled our guest bathroom, and it's gray, and I want to add some color. So I'm going to add bee stuff into it. So I want to stitch it. This is being stitched on 14 count Ada that I Rit dyed, and I believe I Rit dyed it in evening blue, and then quickly dunked it in denim blue. And these are more of a gold yellow, and I'm doing more of a buttery yellow. And this is where I'm at. And if you want to know these colors, I can give them to you. Just ask me below. But they are DMC. I'm using all DMC colors. I love it. So pretty. The struggle is real. Alright, this one is Summer at Hollyberry Farms. I started this on the first day of summer / Father's Day. And I am stitching this on 18 count fabric that I Rit dyed myself. And it was 2 parts, I think it was 2 parts pearl gray and 1 part evening blue. That is where I'm at. This is just DMC white, and it does show up in real life better than on camera. Plus, once I get the roof on it and start filling in the colors around it, you'll be able to see it better. So that's one day of stitching. This one I will continue working on for July, because I'm going to do patriotic. I've done patriotic all through June, and I'm going to continue it through July. Okay, there is a couple in this one. Alright, the first one I'm going to show you is Oh My Stars. I started this May 5th for my husband's birthday, and it's also part of the Star Spangled Social hashtag on Instagram that Crafty Cottage Stitchers are doing. This is being stitched on it's called Vintage Country Cream 14 count, and it's one of the printed ones that is printed on one side but not the other, and it has just a slight modeling to it. You're not going to be able to see it on camera. I am using some of the calls for. I'm using a Victorian model red and a Victorian model blue. And I started this May, but I've also given it some attention in June. So I'm really close to a finish. There's a flower basket here, and then the rest of this border, and I'll be done with this one. But like I said, it's printed on one side, but not the other, but you can't tell on here because it's very subtle. Oh, I love it. I love the red. I love a red house. I love stitching houses. That's probably my favorite thing to stitch. But give me a red house. Yeah. Pretty. Right, the other thing that's in here is Union Forever by Maggie Bonomi. Maggie Bonomi is a wool applique designer, but she did this cross stitch and it was published under Blackbird's Designs. This is being stitched on 14 count fabric that I had in my stash, and I don't even know what color I dyed it in, but I dyed it and then I tea and coffee dyed it and then I baked it and then I didn't like it. So I just threw it in with my fabric stash. Well, I pulled it out. It was the perfect size for this piece. And so what I did is I washed it with some Dawn dish soap to see if I can get some of that RIT dye out. Or not the RIT dye, the tea and coffee, because it was super, super grungy. I didn't like it. And so I washed it with Dawn. It still has a little bit, you can tell it has been coffee tea dyed, but it is very subtle. And I am using all Victorian model threads on this. And all I have left is I have a star right here, a flower here, a flower here. I believe there's a star here, and then there's some leaves on here, which I may make them into berries, red berries. I haven't decided. And then, so each of these leaves have more on it, and then there's a star, and then my initials in the year. So this one's just about done. This is like probably 2 more nights of stitching, and I'll have this one done. But I think I do. I wasn't gonna. It's like green leaves, but they almost look like berries that go on that. So I might do the red. I think that would be pretty. The pattern shows the bird as a light blue, but the light blue that I had pulled was too much like the color of the fabric, so you wouldn't be able to see the bird. So I just went ahead and did the bird the same color as I did the blue in the flag. It's so pretty. Alright, I started these in July of 2020, and My Little House Needle Works, Long May She Wave, Home of the Brave, and Land That I Love, or Land of the Free. And these are the ones where you buy the floss pack, and then you get the chart for free. I started this one, and I don't know why I have not finished these. I think I stalled on them because I wasn't sure how I was going to finish them. But I just need to finish them, and then I can figure out what I'm going to do. This is stitched on, excuse me. This is being stitched on 14 count Heroic by Picture This Plus using the called for threads. And don't mind my strings. They are zigzags, so they're not going to unravel any more than that. Pretty. Hopefully I'll get to them in July. I just need to make them a priority is what I need to do to get them done. Okay, so this one, I don't have a picture because all I have is I guess I do have this picture. So mine came out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine, August of 2003 issue. But I have since bought the book when it came out, Souvenirs of Summer. So this is Summer Jubilee. It is being stitched on a piece of 14 count Misty Blue by Zweigart. That's where I'm at. Using some of the called for, some of my own, and some of the DMC conversion. Love this one. I have been working on this one on the weekends throughout the month of June. I used it for the Blackbird weekend. Okay, we're just done. Okay, so these are Early Americans by Little House Nail Works. Okay, this one is oh my gosh, there's a lot of interruptions. Isn't everybody sleeping by now? Like, it's midnight. No! My dog is barking at everybody, and anyway. Okay, so this is Early Americans by Little House Nail Works. There's 9 in the series, and I have chose to stitch them all as one big piece. I'm stitching this on 14 count Confederate Gray by Zweigart. This is where I'm at. And I'm not doing Vanna's border. I'm just doing the borders that come with the charts. So I stitched this middle one, thinking if I stitch the middle one, then I could actually just go to each one of the other ones. But then I decided to go ahead and stitch the border of all the other ones, and all I have to do is just, if I'll pick the chart, I'll just grab it out of my bag, whichever one it is, I'll put it where it belongs. And this is using all of the called for colors with the exception of the red and blue. The red is 3777 and the blue is 3750. I wanted a more vibrant blue and red on this. We're getting close to being done. I've filmed part 2, like I started it like more than once, and then all the interruptions. Nice. Okay, this one is Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. This one was started in July of 2020, and it was a restart. I had originally started this back in 2017, and I was stitching on 14 count fabric that I had dyed, or I don't know what I had done to it. I didn't like it. I actually had the entire house done, and I had most of the grass done. That's a huge chunk of stitching on this piece, and I didn't like it. I just did not like it. I liked the stitching, I just didn't like the fabric, so I threw it away. Yep, threw it in the garbage. And I did a restart. So I restarted it on 18 count. Oh, I think it's called 18 count vintage sampler by Victorian Motto. I'm just trying to see if I can find the card real quick to make sure that's right. Yes, it's called Vintage Sampler by Victorian Motto. So I restarted it in, like I said, July of 2020. And I picked it up in June this year. It's the first time I picked it up in since I started it. And I was able to outline the house. So when I worked on it last year, I had these windows right here done, the roof outlined, and I'd started filling in the roof. And so when I picked it up in June this month, I outlined the house, did all of these windows, did all the outline, and I did the brick. So all I need to do is come back in and fill the house in and fill the roof in. So I'm hoping I can get a lot of that done in July. One more. One more. All right. This one is the Pram. Find it. The Pram Prim Stitch series by Lori Holt. And I am doing this as my morning start. And there are 12 charts in the whole set. And I am just doing one chart a month. And even though each one of these is a finish every month, I'm counting it as a WIP until I have the entire piece finished. So this is where I'm at. So I actually started the border as my morning stitch in December, and then this was January, February, March, April, May, and then this one is June, and I just finished it. So I won't start the next block until in July, but like I said, I'm not, even though each one of these is a finish every month, I'm not considering it, I'm considering this still a WIP. I'm not taking into consideration these as a finish every month. Hope that makes sense. I love this. It's so pretty. This is being stitched on 18 count vintage country mocha. And I'm using the called for DMC colors, but not necessarily where they are called for. Because I'm like, I can't remember, but I know he was changed up quite a bit. I'm trying to match the quilt block itself. I'm trying to match the stitched block with the quilt block, because I'm also making the quilt this year. So making a quilt block every month also. So there we go. That is it for my WIPs. Can you believe that? It's a lot of WIPs. All right, so that's it. I won't be back I'll be back after the 4th of July to do a regular update. This was just a mid-year WIP video, just to kind of review, my WIPs, so I can kind of revisit them to see which ones I want to pull out as maybe possibly finishing, or kind of, which ones I really want to possibly finish for this year, or get some good stitching in on this year, the rest of the year. I do plan on doing a very, very small sewing room tour. I've done my sewing room tour, and you can go back and watch it. It's been, I think it was back in February, maybe, I can't remember. But my sewing room is ever evolving, and I've just kind of changed a little bit of my storage, the way I'm storing some things, storing my charts and my quilting books and stuff. And I've added plantation shutters in here since my video. I've added a valance in here above the windows, and I've made my cutting table is sitting right here, and I store stuff under it, and it just looked awful, so I've made a skirt to go around it. Anyway, so I'm going to do a very, very short tour again. Not a full tour of my sewing room, but of what I have, and kind of what I have improved on in my sewing room. And so be watching for that. That's going to be coming, I don't know, it'll be after these videos are posted, I know that for sure, but maybe before my my next update video. Anyway, in my next update video, I will have, you know, what I've been working on since this video, because all the patriotic stuff I'm still going to be working on, and so whatever I've pulled out and worked on since I showed it on this video, I will do an update video. I also have a couple of fully finishes that I want to show, and so anyway, I'm going to do that after the 4th of July. So I will, everybody that's in the United States, have a very happy and very safe 4th of July. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I may just stay home because it's supposed to be like 100 degrees, and like literally 100 degrees. It's going to be hot. Yeah, all next week we're supposed to be 97, 98, 100, 104. So we're going to have some really hot temperatures. So I probably for the 4th of July just going to stay home and stay in my very climate controlled area house, and probably quilt and stitch. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'll probably go up. Our area does, the community I live in does a huge 4th of July celebration, and it runs from like, well, this year's running from July 1st to July 5th. And so they have up at the town square, they have food booths set up all around the square, and they do entertainment at night, in the evenings, and they do fireworks one night. It kind of ends with the parade. The parade will be on the 5th of July this year, and then the food booths stay open. Will be open the remainder of that day. I'm not going to the parade. I'm not going to sit in the hot sun. I'm not going to sit in the 104-degree temperature. But so I'll probably go up and have lunch or dinner 2 or 3 times and do that. But other than that, 4th of July, I'm staying home. And the 5th of July, I'm staying home. I'm not going to the parade. So anyway, but I'm going to let you go, and I will see you after the 4th of July. Bye.